Joining me now, Dana Loesch, the person who kicked off this fundraiser for the pizzeria. She's the host of Dana on the Blaze TV. She just spoke with the family. Also, Leslie Marshall, who's a progressive radio talk show host and a Fox News contributor. Dana, what a day you have had. We watched the numbers go up and up and up. Over $300,000 now for this pizzeria shop, one of 8 businesses. And what do you think this shows?
Well, and Megan, I have to say my amazing staff at my program, and most importantly, everybody out there that watched, everyone that watches your program, they made this happen. And I think that we're now seeing people are tired of it. You know, you can have respect for other people's lifestyles, and you can also have respect for people's faith. People, their faith is who they are, and you can't just take it off when you go home from church. And a lot of people view their work as their ministry. And so they stood up for this, and it was really wonderful to see people stand in the gap in this culture battle and say, you know what, this isn't right. We're going to stand up for this family.
When you spoke with the daughter, Crystal, 21 years old, who's under attack from so many, most of whom are outside of, never mind Walkerton, but the state of Indiana, but her own state representative, her own, district representative is saying she's going to have to eat her own pizza because no one's going to frequent her restaurant and so on, because some media person stuck a mic in her face and asked her for an opinion she never volunteered to give. What is she going through?
You know, and that's the point. It was a hypothetical situation. No discrimination even happened. Nobody declined anything. It was a hypothetical question. She was completely blown away by this, Megan. At first, she was, they're from a small town and they're not used to dealing with, they watch the news, they read the newspaper headlines, but to have a reporter come into your establishment looking for a narrative to set, and they put a microphone in your face and they ask you these questions, you don't know how to handle it, especially if that's the first interview that you've ever done. And she answered honestly. And you know what? She could have denied her faith, and she could have said, I'm not even going to risk. We've had a tough time with the economy. I'm not going to risk it. I'll say what they want to hear, and I'll make everybody happy. And she didn't do that. She stayed true to her faith and true to herself.
She was set up. There's a reason the media went in. I mean, they have crosses up in the pizzeria. They said, oh, we've got a live one here. Let's go in and hit up this young woman. And boy, oh boy, they got what they wanted. Or did they, Leslie? Because, where do you stand on this? Because a lot of gays and lesbians say this goes too far. We don't want to be the intolerant people we're accusing the other side of being.
Well, first of all, where I stand is I think it's abhorrent that anyone would threaten violence as we've had toward this business. I certainly don't condone that in any way. But I don't condone discrimination as a business owner, even with religion. The problem that I have here is I love choice. I love the choice of businesses to be able to refuse certain customers. I love Dana made a choice to help this woman, and that she made a choice to be vocal and stand up for what she believes. But the problem that I have here, Megan, as a former Christian, is that when she cites this particular group, it is one particular group. Whereas the Bible I read says we're all sinners. The Bible I read does not just cite homosexuality as a sin. And that makes me feel that she's being a bit hypocritical, especially when she'll serve a gay person in a restaurant, won't deliver pizza to a gay wedding. Will she deliver pizza to a wedding where an individual has a child out of wedlock, as an example? That's what bothers me about this. But to attack this woman, I think in this day and age, even though she didn't know it was coming, when you put yourself out there, people are going to react, but nobody should be reacting with vitriol or certainly threatening violence of any kind.
The thing is, if you want to persuade somebody to come over your side, to believe as you believe, the way forward is not to shout at them and call them names and tell them that they're bigots, Dana. That just shuts down debate, makes people get their back up, and they may have shut down people like this family from saying how they feel in the future. Other families like them, maybe, maybe not. But they haven't changed a belief set. That's really the goal.
No. Yeah, absolutely. And they've shown the same. You want to talk about a discriminatory behavior. I think the behavior that was used against this family is the definition of discriminatory. And I do not find it at all in any way sane in this reality to petition a government to determine the sincerity of someone's faith. Now, we can look at this one of two ways. We can look at this that we are fine with business owners and private property owners being determined how they want to do business with their capital that they have invested in their private property, and we can also look at it like, well, people need to be able to practice their faith the government, Megyn, should not determine when someone can be a Christian, where someone can be a Christian.
That's why this is such a difficult issue for so many people, Leslie, is that the civil liberties of gays and lesbians are coming right up against the right to believe what you want to believe as a person of faith, as a Christian in this country. And, you know, the Christian belief has been in place for a long time about marriage. The tide is turning in this country on the polls. But a lot of people seem to want to look at these Christians and say, you need to change your mind immediately. When Barack Obama himself was saying up until 2 years ago, he didn't support gay marriage.
A couple of things there, Megyn. First of all, you're absolutely right. And I hate to admit, as a Democrat, I believe David Axelrod when he said that the president was always in favor of gay marriage, but wasn't always honest about it.
That he lied about it
in years past. Misled, isn't that the word we use nowadays, politically correct? But secondly, if we look at the founder and the leader of Christianity, who was Jesus, I think he'd serve pizza at a gay wedding. I think he'd talk to these folks and he'd pray with them. And I think that's true Christianity, in my opinion, and the way that I saw it when I was in the church.
Yeah, Megyn, just to
I'm just picturing Jesus at the gay wedding. But Jesus been on TV a lot this week, and I'm just trying to picture that scene.
Jesus always said, "Go forth and sin no more," but he never ever partook of those services, and that is either with the prostitute or with the other sinners, like the tax collector, so on and so forth.
Wow.
Sin does not mean you can't love someone.
All right, we can find out a lot more about Jesus. Tomorrow is Good Friday, and Killing Jesus, I think, is going to be right here on FNC beginning at 8 p.m. So Jesus will be here tomorrow instead of me. Ladies, thank you both so much.